All right, everybody, welcome. Joe White here from Get Life Coaching. It is time for our Tuesday edition of Ask Joe. So come on in, everybody. This is on-the-spot coaching, which basically means you can ask any question. Life, love, no politics. No politics, right? But a chance to kind of like hang out and get some positive energy, because that negative energy is definitely at an all-time high. So come on in, everybody. Welcome. We got some great questions for you. If you want to participate by asking a question, you can drop that in the comment section. If you want to remain anonymous, you can message me on Facebook, or you can just hang out. But make sure you come in. Make sure you say hi. Love for you to say hi. And feel free to comment. Feel free to share your thoughts on these topics. It's very interesting because just when you think you are kind of maxed out with your uncertainty for this year, more stuff's coming. I think one of the big things with everything that's going on is understanding what is under your control and what's not under your control. In other words, I've said this in a couple of different ways and did a couple of different formats. I love our new format, Whiteboard Coaching with Joe, right? It's where I get to draw shit out. I always like to do that. But it's really like to understand that nothing in this world defines you but you. Whether it's, hey Sharon, how are you? Welcome to the pate. And if it's, we just give away our control. We give away our power. We give away our energy. And we major in minor things. So that's my kind of thoughts for today. I'm going to jump into the questions. Let me see what we got here. All right. And when we promote this, there's a link. It's the same link every time. You can definitely ask questions in there. Okay. In the 7th meditation, so we are doing the thing right now called the the Sunrise Challenge. The Sunrise Challenge is 12 days of meditation, 6 a.m. in the morning. It's been freaking fabulous, man. I mean, and it's not meditation where we just, it's guided journeys, and they've been so freaking cool, and the feedback has been phenomenal. So this is what this person is referring to. In the 7th meditation about clarity, so we talked about finding clarity in situations. You talk about the next step. I want to improve myself in multiple ways. How do I know which step to take? And in a way, you really don't know what the next step is. It's kind of like when the step appears, take it, right? Because there's no certainty. But understand, I really do believe this. There is almost a divine guidance in our lives. In other words, hey, Amy, how are you? Thank you for joining us. And I don't believe in if it's not meant to be, that's garbage. I don't believe in our destiny is written. But I do believe, I'll use a phrase a friend of mine described it to me once. And they said that it's kind of like Mario. Remember Mario, right? You had to complete that level to get to that next level. And there are things in this earth that just conspire to help you. And I don't know if it's always explained or a coincidence or some divine intervention. Look, I know 27 years ago in November, I was not looking to change my life, and I saw a bunch of self-help tapes on TV, and I bought those tapes. They changed my life. I know when I'm open to receive. So I think the way for it not to work, guys, is to put so much pressure on yourself. Laura, welcome, is that we feel as if we got to figure out that next step because we don't want to make a mistake. Because part of making mistakes is part of life. It's you look back at your life And for many people, the darkest moments led to the greatest levels of revelation and the greatest breakthroughs and the greatest growth spurts. I know when I go through a winter of my life, and a winter is like something crappy, right? I know I'm about to grow. Like, look at what's going on in this world right now. Just imagine where we're going to be in 5 years. We're going to have technological advances in medicine and technology. That all was a result of this. What's going on with COVID and all of this. So things are here to serve you. I think you learn to listen to your gut. I do that. If my gut says do something, I do it. If my gut says don't do something, I don't do it, right? So in knowing which way to step you take, I just say you keep moving forward. Trust that process. I know it's not really a definitive answer, but knowing what step to take is very non-definitive, right? We don't know what step. We don't know what path. And when we worry too much about it, we get paralysis of analysis. And that's never good. Okay, next question is, I have a question, probably a loaded one. I will say I'm seeing a wonderful therapist. Excellent. So that is taken care of. But in between visits, any suggestion to handling those really hard moments of PTSD? Dealt with. Janelle, how are you? Welcome. So PTSD is the way it comes to us in the brain is very much like a phobia, right? So let's classify anxiety and phobias. People who are afraid of flying, right? They'll go to the airport. They might be at level 3 or 4 of intensity. The next thing you know, they get into the airport. It's like a 5. Then they get on the airport. 7. The engines go up. 8, 9, 10. It's an escalating pattern. Phobias are formed through one-time learning. Something happens in your life and you're in a dangerous situation, emotionally, physically, fight or flight. And you come out of it okay. It might have been difficult. It might have been the worst experience of your life, but you still come out of it. But the brain doesn't connect that. It creates a loop. So anytime you are at a height or think about climbing, you automatically triggered into a fight or flight mechanism. So PTSD is very, very, very similar. So how do you deal with things like that? I'll give you a couple different tools. The first one is the breathing in your heart meditation. In your heart meditation, you can go to getlifecoaching.com, scroll about 3/4 of the way down, right hand side is Gifts from Joe or something like that. The breathing in your heart exercise meditation. There's a company who create that called Heart Math. I've talked about them before. And they've done scientific study. They hooked up EKG and EEG, your heart waves, your brain waves, and your heart rate. And what they realize is when you are stressed out, it's very jagged and disjointed. But doing that simple meditation of breathing in your heart for 3 minutes, it becomes very rounded and in sync. So what happens is you open up different parts of your brain. Remember that Bradley Cooper movie, Limitless? It was a great movie that he took this pill and then he could use all of his brain because they say we only use 10% of our brain. Yes and no. We do use only 10% of our brain. Hey Bob, how are you, man? Welcome to Ask Joe. But we're not designed to use 100% of our brain, right? Because certain things that we are experiencing, different parts of our brain open, different parts of our brain shut down. So fight or flight shuts down everything. So the first thing is to breathe in your heart because it opens up different parts of your brain. If you feel, we're talking about someone who asked about PTSD. If you feel like almost a panic attack coming on, here's a great simple, Carol, how are you? And I've used this. I've used this in seminars and got people out of a deep state. It helps if someone's there to do this for you, but you can definitely do it yourself. When you are running a phobia, an anxiety attack, PTSD, you are in your fight or flight mechanism, part of your limbic brain system. Your cognitive reasoning is out because you don't need to cognitively process if you feel threatened. So what you do is and like, again, if you are out there and you have a friend, family member that suffers from anxiety or PTSD, this is a good tool to kind of bring them down out of that, like that red, I'm over the red line. Get them to say their phone number forwards, then backwards, or any number, social security number, anything. Because we know the number forward. We can do it without even thinking, right? But to say it backwards, we have to really apply cognitive processing. To do that, we leave our limbic brain system and we leave fight or flight. So just get them to repeat it over and over again. You could do words. It doesn't really matter what you do. I usually do phone numbers. I was doing a seminar once and someone freaked out right in the middle of it, right? Right at like the wrong time with what we're working on. And there was a nurse in there. She goes, oh, let me at her. I can help her. I'm like, get away, right? And I did this. And the nurse came up to me and says, I never seen anything like that because normally we just try to breathe them down and relax them, but like it doesn't always work. I never saw someone come out of it so quick. So that's a good tool. And lastly is maybe practice of visualization. And this is a little bit of the phobia cure from NLP. And it's imagine yourself sitting in a movie theater, looking up at a screen, and float out of your body and go into the projector's booth. Make sure you have glass there. And watch you watching the movie. Okay? And you watch whatever that PTSD experience is, but you do it in black and white. And you do it forward and backwards, right? And if that still is intense, then imagine you can float outside of a window looking at you in the projector's booth, looking down at you watching the movie. And what that does is creates double and triple disassociation. But when you run that movie, make sure you get to the end where it shows you are safe and secure. I usually just anchor that in there because again, someone who is caught up in anxiety attacks or PTSD is very much like a phobia, and they end up not feeling as if they ever get out of that. It just loops around, like I said earlier. So if you guys are new, we got a whole bunch of new people in here. Welcome to Ask Joe. I do this every Tuesday at 8 p.m. Feel free to ask any question you want. Make sure you say hi when you come in. Any coaching question about life, love, business, doesn't matter. We stay away from politics and things like that. If you want to remain anonymous, you can message me. Oh, we got a message. Look at that. And we can, and I'll read the question, but I won't read your name. Okay? So let me pull up my messenger. Okay. What are some techniques to help me stop taking things so personally and to keep me from acting in scarcity state? Well, I think the first thing is read the book, The 4 Agreements. The book was like fucking revolutionary for me. It's Don Miguel Ruiz, The 4 Agreements. And to summarize one of the, you're welcome. Oh, let me say hi. Oh, we got some people. Hang on. Kim. Hello, Kim. Bob, I need to hear this tonight. Thanks. Oh, my pleasure, man. I'm glad this has impacted you. So when we, so one of the agreements is don't take things personal. Because how someone responds to you has nothing to do with you unless you make it. So if I'm hanging out with Bob and I just start yelling at Bob, right? It's not about Bob. It's about my fucked up state. So don't take it personal. Read the 4 agreements. And I want to focus here on what do you do to get into a abundant state, right? So the person asks, what are some of the techniques that help me from stop taking things so personally to keep me from acting out of a scarcity state? So what are you doing to get into an abundant state? Are you meditating? Are you breathing in your heart? Are you doing incantations? I think one of the biggest, and I just did a 1-minute transformation on this today, that Bob writes, I didn't do anything. I know, I just picked on you a little bit, Bob. I love you. That we fucking suck at self-talk. I mean, we say things like, I'm no good. Why is this happening to me? I suck here. I do this, right? And we talk worse about ourselves than we do the people that we can't stand. So one of the things that you can do to stay out of scarcity and abundance is learn to say some positive self-talk. Don't allow yourself. When I say don't allow, what I mean is when you say crappy stuff, right? Come out and self-correct it. You know, oh, I'm just not good at that. I mean, what I meant to say is I'm learning to do it. I'm getting better every day. Because your brain hears it over and over again, and it begins to stick, and it begins to rehearse your own failure. So if you are stuck in scarcity, you have to do things to be in abundance on a regular basis. And it might be morning, noon, and afternoon, and night sometimes, because things are so crazy around you. It might be once a day. Lastly, in those moments where you feel you're taking it personal, it's a loss of boundaries, right? Write this down, guys. There's 3 types of boundaries. There's boundaries, connects but separates. Skin's a boundary. A state line's a boundary. A boundary is something that is, like when I coach my clients, I have a boundary. In other words, I feel for them, but I'm not in that experience. I remember once I had a friend of mine, and they went to a therapist, and they were saying about how it was about a relationship. And she's saying, oh yeah, my boyfriend does this, my boyfriend's no good. And the therapist goes, I can relate. And it was like a Me Too session, not Me Too the movement, but everything like, oh yeah, right? No, that's not what you need. So boundaries, when I coach, I'm connected but separate, right? Skin. Inside, outside world, but it connects. The second thing is no boundaries. It's just totally caught up in that experience of the person or the situation. So if I'm having a bad day and Bob makes his day bad because of me, he's in my experience. He stepped into my experience, and it's not his experience. He can have feelings about, but it's not his experience. Now, no boundaries is good. If you're making love with somebody, that's a good thing. If you're watching a great movie or a great artist and you get emotional, that's a great thing, right? But when we take stuff personal, then all of a sudden we then make whatever that person's saying, we hold it to be true, and off we go. So the third version is walls. And walls is exactly what it is. Everything stays out, nothing comes in. It just shut it down, as Chef Ramsay would say. And walls don't do that. So a way to maintain the way to maintain boundaries when you feel you're caught up into it, such a cool little trick, right? Everything's like hacks today. The saying your phone number backwards. It's peripheral vision. When you're experiencing loss of boundaries, everything goes like this. The world just gets very, very tight, very, very narrow. So when you extend your peripheral vision is when you look straight, and how far can you look straight without moving your eyes that you can see your fingers. I can see them right about there. Oh, there we go, right there. So if I'm looking at you, I'm going to keep looking at you, but I'm going to maintain my peripheral vision. That helps to pull you out. So if you are taking things personal, read 4 Agreements, Don Miguel Ruiz. Number 2, do things on a regular basis to help you to stay in an abundant state. And lastly is maintain boundaries. Someone else's shit is not your shit. I don't care if it's mom, dad, sister, brother, husband, daughter, whomever, okay? So let's talk to some people here. Carol Ann writes, nice painting behind you. Emily made that for me. Thank you very much. Debbie, welcome. Very sweet, Carol. All right. So we're going to stay on for just another couple minutes here. If you have any questions that you would like to ask, feel free to drop them in the comment section. Anything you want to share, drop in the comment section. If you want to ask a question, but you want to remain anonymous, you can certainly do that as well. You can message me. We do this every Monday at, Tuesday, we change the time. Tuesday at 8 p.m. So please mark us down, set something in your calendar. You know, it's about doing the work. It's about filling your brain, taking a break from all the craziness, and focusing on yourself. At least for 25 minutes, right? If you've gotten value from this, or you know someone who can benefit from this, I ask that you share this. Right? We don't sell anything. I just do coaching. And you never know what you say or what's being said that may impact the life of someone else. Also, quick reminder, if you want the breathing in your heart, is a 3 CD or 3 audio program download. It's absolutely free. Just go to getlifecoaching.com. You'll find it about a third of the way down, and it's gifts from Joe. There's also an opportunity there for you to get our 1-minute moneymaker. It's for business owners, salespeople. It's free. It's a video, 1-minute video every day, Monday through Friday. And of course, the 1-minute transformation that we do every once a day, 7 days a week. And you can even get a complimentary coaching session. So there's some really cool stuff. Just scroll down about a third, 2/3, I don't know where. Right-hand side, you will see it. Oh, we got a question. So please take advantage of that. There are people in the world who never know how to say sorry. What's your way of dealing with those people? Don't give a fuck. Right? I mean, seriously, you can't force someone to say that they're sorry. And you don't need someone to say they're sorry. You may want it. You may feel disappointed. But again, Carol, you can't control that. And by setting up unrealistic expectations of like other people should say they're sorry, other people should. In a perfect world, you're probably right. But that's not the world that we live in. And when that event is long and gone, you're still holding on to it, and that person has no idea that they're still inside your head. Now, if that person continues to do things against you and they don't say they're sorry, they don't try to make amends or become better, then maybe it's time for you to cut them out of your life. Right? To say, see ya. Because you deserve better than that, right? That's the thing, guys. We deserve everything we want in our lives. Everything we want financially, everything we want in relationships. And when we get fearful that we can't get it, we settle, right? We settle. And I'll borrow something off a friend of mine. And one of the things that's amazing about this person is that they celebrate everything, the smallest things. And I'm like, I need to celebrate more. So we got to celebrate our little victories, because if we don't do our little victories, we'll never get around to the big victories. We'll just be too pissed off. It took me so long to get here, right? All right. Debbie, welcome, welcome, welcome. And also, I would, Karen, I will also get the 4 agreements too. All right, any final questions before we wrap this puppy up tonight? Going once, going twice. On your Facebook page, if you've gotten value, go to getlifecoaching.com, download the free gifts from, I think it's called Free Gifts with Joe, and you're very welcome. And if you want a sample of our sunrise meditation, I think it's on, I don't know if I posted on Facebook, but check out my post. You might see, I think we released one full day for people. And if it's not on there, then just email me. I'll put you on the email list and you'll get it, right? Or go to the website and there's a place to join the email list. You want to join the newsletter because we're always giving away a whole bunch of cool stuff. All right, guys, that's all I got. Have a great night. Thank you for watching. I'll see you next Monday. Tuesday, I'm just confused. Don't know what day it is. Have a great day. Have a great night. Thank you. Please share this. Namaste. Rattle the cage. Bye-bye.